Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Edwards, along with Glenville State College head football coach Mike Keller, as the Pioneers host the Wheeling Cardinals here at Ike and Sue Moore Stadium. Coach 1-1 on the year. Nice win against Concord in the opener on a Thursday night here at Moore Stadium. Then last week, the long trip down to UNC Pembroke, and got off to a great start. I was watching, I said, wow, and then kind of just got bogged down.
Well, you're exactly right. We got off to a good start. We had the third play of a game for a touchdown, on a backside post, and jumped out on them 7-0. We create a sack fumble situation, get the ball 1st and 10. Defense set us up really nice inside the 20-yard line. We ran a couple plays, ran a screen, threw a little bubble screen, ran off tackle left for a 3rd and 3, had 1st and goal like the 5, ran it in. We're up 14-0. And from a team who beat us 30-7 in the spring and really kind of physically dominated us at times, it was a good start for us. Kind of I wouldn't say unexpected start, but better than expected, I should say. And so you're up 14-0, and then of course it settles in. They got a veteran team. They got a big offensive line, a really good quarterback, and Mother Nature took over there a little bit. I talked to a few people, looked at the podcast, and
Couldn't see the picture some of the times.
oh, we couldn't see it where we were at. It just opened up, and we joked pregame. I said, "What's the weather going to be like?" And J.J. Mayer, special teams coordinator, secondary coach, said 15% chance of rain. I said, well, we got all of it. For the second quarter, it really turned into a semi-hurricane. I felt. It was crazy how bad it was. So that stopped some of our momentum. They handled it better than we did. We turned it over, which early on has kind of been our Achilles heel and something we've been working on trying to fix. But at one point in the fourth quarter, cut it to 30-22, hit the 2-point conversion, and defense had a 4th and 1 that they got by about half a foot. If we get the ball there, maybe we go down and score, and it's a different ball game. But you're right.
UNC Pembroke really has advantages that most of the schools in the conference don't have.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I was in North Carolina for 2 years. I know their recruiting area and their price of school. And they had on the scoreboard. They were going over there too deep, and every kid was from North Carolina. They don't have to travel too far to find a lot of good football players, and they've had a good program for a long time.
Right, and their in-state tuition for those kids is
that's
just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's almost you
low.
feel like you're lying when you tell the number.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it was a great start. The running game so far hasn't been very productive.
Yeah.
What's the main ingredient that's going into that?
Well, I'm hoping getting Alfred Minger back this week. He hurt his knee 2.5 weeks ago in a goal line drill we were doing, and it's kind of limped his way through practice. We didn't play him at all in week 1. Week 2, we really weren't going to play him, but we got down there and the game was a mutter game, and we thought he could get through this, and he provided a little bit of a spark. We've been kind of searching different combinations up front, from the offensive line, tight ends, the whole deal. It's something we've spent a lot of time on. We've searched it pretty good and practiced it a lot, in the previous weeks, but especially this week. So we're hoping this week that changes.
You shuffled a couple people around, basically the same personnel, just playing different positions. A tackle moves to guard,
Yeah.
center moves to tackle, a couple of those things. The other thing is, and we were just talking about this, when you get everybody healthy and eligible, that'll be a big improvement to that line.
In all honesty, since I've been here for 2.5 years now, COVID kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in this whole thing, which I'm sure it did for everybody. But really, the last 4 games of my first year was the only time we've had the same lineup for consecutive weeks, and that's kind of just been a little bit of bad luck. COVID has obviously added to that, and then just some crazy injuries here and there. And I really feel like we're this close to being a very good unit, offensively and then within the run game. It's just if we could get some cohesion there from week to week.
Third down conversions, only 33%,
Yeah.
getting into a lot of third and long
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
A lot of times everybody says, well, you're not converting third down, but a lot of times it's no success on first and second
Yeah,
down that
yeah.
makes that third down tough.
In the coaching world, you really don't measure that as much as you measure, we measure positive plays on first down, which is a gain of 4 or more. If we're getting 4 or more on first down, then our third down conversion rate's going to be high. If you're not, and it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you're going to be about a third of the time. It's actually not bad for this. If there's a basketball for the shots we're taking, that's not
Right.
that bad.
Defense, I thought, has played pretty well in spite of the points that were put up last week by Pembroke, but 11 quarterback sacks. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been getting pressure on the quarterback.
And we faced, I mean, Concord's quarterback was a top-notch
Yeah,
player.
yes, he was.
The kid at Pembroke was really, really a good football player. So we faced some good, some good quarterback play, some really good receivers the first 2 weeks. I thought Pembroke had a veteran line that was a good line. And we're playing a lot of guys over there. Coach Hill's brought a little bit of energy, to that side of the ball. And guys are fresh and they're rushing the passer, and it's almost like it's contagious. Once you get that pass rush going, then everyone wants to get in there and be their part. We're really not a high blitz team, put a lot of pressure on the secondary team. We've really been rushing a lot of forward. We do some where we bring the fifth guy, but a lot of it's just been that front four.
It's good news when
Yeah.
you're down and can get there.
Yep.
Wheeling today, they come in 1 and 2. Statistically, they're very close to the Pioneers in almost every category. Give us a little scout of their offense.
It's very similar to ours. I mean, they got a big tight end. They got a couple quarterbacks that are the one kid's a big kid, transfers from WU, can throw it pretty good. They got some really good looking wide receivers. All of them are 6'2" and above. And schematically, you're going to see a lot of the route combinations you see us run. They remind me a lot of the way we play. They're based 3 wide receiver set team. They'll get into the 4 wide receiver stuff, kind of like us. They're trying to get that run game going a little bit, So we're very similar offensively. Defensively, they're a 3 down front. They like to play with a 2 shell. They'll jump into some man-to-man on us. Went back and watched the 2019 video of us versus them. A lot of the same kids playing a lot of the same positions for them 2 years ago. So they're a veteran team and a much improved program from when you think they didn't have a program 4 years ago to where they're at now. I mean, they've done an impressive job.
Defensively, what do they do and how do you plan to attack them?
Well, they're a 3-4. They're a 3 down look. They play a lot of man-to-man. They like to start the game at a 2 high shell and see if they can stop your run with that cover 4, that two deep look. If they can, then they're just going to stay there all day. If we have some success running the football, then they're going to jump into some man-to-man, try to single us up and stop the run. And hopefully, what we told our guys, if we can get the run established and force them to play single high, then all of a sudden our receivers, which I think is one of our strengths, then they can put their fingerprint on the football game.
Change at quarterback today.
Yeah, Corbin's a good young kid. He was one of the top kids we signed 2 years ago. Really, Timmy didn't do anything to play himself out of the position. It was more just a hunch or a gut feel that we need to see where Corbin's at in his development. He's been practicing for 2 years, and he's kind of hit a wall at practice. We need to see how he can do going into the game. The analogy we talked about off the air and that I told the quarterbacks was Corbin's a high draft pick, and our franchise, our program needs to see where we're at with him.
Is it too simple to say the team that runs it the best is going to win this game?
I don't know if it's ever too simple to say. I mean, it's always run the ball, stop the run. I played quarterback. If you look at my history, we've had a lot of great receivers throwing the football, but at the end of the day, it's kind of always been, if you could stop the run, you make them one-dimensional. It helps your defense. If you could run the football, it helps the team.
Any key players not going today?
Well, we haven't had one of our key offensive linemen all year. We just got one kid back this week who will back up today. We got a couple guys nicked and bruised. Zay Huff will not be playing. He hurt his knee 2 weeks ago against Concord, and we thought it was season ending, but we believe that he's going to be okay here in a week or two. DeAndre Clayton, hurt his thumb in the Concord game and was doing a good job as our starting quarterback and is really having trouble. We don't know where that thing's at. He will address today and kind of play if an emergency situation happens.
All right, Coach, 1-1 on the season. Winner of this game, gets to either even or a positive record. Should be a great game, I think. Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.